What if all the bricks that we chipped at perfectly turned to notes floating through the wave work surgically burgundy led into the money green outline, and every piece of cement was a reason to get alpine. Crazy as we wanted, and the horses that the pioneers showed us that the coachmen weren't supposed to be in riot gear. I am here, warrior, firebombed, orphanage, Swanee on the wireless, tire rims forested, Doro slim dangle, still nothing changed more or less. SOS run around different day, Gorbachev sorta gets older me. I really miss the back and forth cameos and candy jokes and listening to battle horns. Fatter dudes rounded up from midnight until it was noon. Witches rolled the steak with us and mixed it with the bitches brew. Sifting through the rubble of a wounded mind, you will agree. Might cause you to fight club or just light up like your Billie Jean. Still eerie like Roman since I couldn't get a hold of you. Meet you out on Junction, think of something that we both can do. Know the rules, everything, maybe watch the world die. Trooping through the city, got 450 on the third try. Moving through the boomerang, 7-string Fox noise. Can't wait for the finals or to dial up that nice joint. Convoys calling us, magic in the majesty. A feathered flock of vegetation bombs that never got with gravity.
Did you see the timing on that? The timing on that.
You feel like no one needs you. You feel like all the joy is gone. When a bitter dream cracks through your grinning mask. Look beyond the shattered pieces and clear the wreckage.
I got a closet full of broken legs and I don't want to stand on. It's planned wrong. It's like I don't understand, Mom. The same sad song and dance gone awry. On demand, on the fly, across the land, by and by, ride or die. Left high and dry, put into the sandbar. Praying for a high tide or running with the land shark, a landmark. Anything that signifies I hope that I'll be going back to charting open water. I can taste it, face it. It's time to let the birds out of the cages. I'm out of my patience. I ain't seen a lighthouse in ages. Pages are cluttered, I'm undercover, wishing for a lover while I'm singing for my supper light. And she dances like the ocean, by candlelight, a fan of my devotion, phantom of the floating opera. And she honored my sister, but I'm the victim. She got a box on my wisdom. Blood drunk with an incurable hangover, and I'm unsure if I'll stay sober. It's like I know what ain't over. Your heart belongs to me now, but it's certain to change owners. And it's that strange odor, more than fishy. This got me warped and shifty, fishing in a lost cause. Lock, stock, and two smoking earlobes. Some third grade De Niro with a hero complex, zeroed in and singing and dancing for the bullets flying at my feet. While I feed her hunger, she's harassing me. But I turn it around, casually light a match and watch a Laugh Factory burn to the ground. She holds that pose where no grass grows, just a cold black rose on an old back road. She holds that pose where no grass grows, just a cold black rose on an old back road. dances like the ocean by candlelight. A fan of my devotion, phantom of the floating opera. And she honored my sister, but I'm the victim.
Les bras chargés,
She brought a box on my wisdom.
porté dans ses mains
And she dances like
la
the
fleur
ocean
d'amour
Beyond the shattered
by
cueillie dans
candlelight.
ton jardin.
Fan of my devotion, phantom of the floating opera.
Why should we be in such desperate haste to succeed? And in such desperate enterprises? Look beyond the shattered pieces and clear the wreckage.
To the ancestors, known and unknown, Ashe. To the gods, known and unknown, Ashe. All the praise, all the glory be to the Most High. What's going on, guys? It's your favorite Cosmic Warrior, back at you with another Galactic transmission. Let's get a prayer in, then we'll tap into the energy. Spirit, thank you for coming through. Thank you for guiding and protecting this message. Thank you for removing any negative energy from the area. Thank you for allowing this to get to any and everyone it's intended to. And so it is.
Off with their heads, gotta get paid, that's the refrain. Watch your step when you walk that edge. Paradise lost for capital gain. Same old song and dance, they robbed the trance and fall in line like army begins. I've been banging on pots and pans, nameless soldier, no olive branch. Peace will come, peace will come. It was all peace when this thing begun. No Roman legions or bones in need, and no soldiers beefing for no good reason. Blind progress, the impulse to become the god that they don't believe in. Overreaching's an understatement when you watch how the vultures feeding. Who can say where the road to lead them? That's not how it's supposed to be. No siree, better slow your speed. One too many lost that were close to me, not now burning holes in the upholstery. You know the code of the code to read.
You know, slowing your speed. Slowing your speed. You know, it's the energy of people that want you to slow down. You're going too fast. But why? Why are you going too fast? Because they can't keep up. You know, because they can't maintain the cadence, because they can't maintain the pace required to walk your path. See, but that's the thing, though. We walk our own path. You know, you're never going to be able to keep up if you're trying to walk someone else's path. That's not your fucking path. You know what I mean? You know, you got the wrong shoes for it. You got the wrong gear. You didn't bring any overnight gear. You know, you're not prepared for it. You know, it's not your path. You know, your path is your path, and someone else's path is their path. You know, do they run parallel sometimes? Yes. You know, do they, sometimes become one? Yeah. But you have to know the difference. You know, you have to know when your path splits. You know, but cut off. And you know what I'm getting, but it's like obstacles. It's the hope that on your path, you know, you see it's split and you have the choice to make, but your path is blocked off. You know what I mean? And so are you gonna just sit there and like, oh well, that sucks? Are you gonna problem solve it? Are you gonna troubleshoot it? Are you gonna find a way to continue onto your path? You know, but it's blazing through. It's blazing through. You know, but the cut off, you know, but it's, you know, but it's the cutting of the branches when we have to go around the path. You know what I mean? When it's all, you know, it's overgrown and we gotta forge our own. But then it's also, it's cutting loose all the weights that are holding us back. It's being aware of the weights, because how could you hope to cut the weights off if you don't even know it's a weight? You know, a lot of times we spend all this time and all this energy, you know, putting, you know, hot air into the balloon, and we're getting up off the ground, but we can't. We get limited. We're stuck. It's just we're able to get so far, and then just we can't go any farther. It's we can feel the weight. We know something's holding us back, but it's we're looking around and I don't see it. Where is it? It's invisible. It's invisible until it's not. Until awareness is brought to it. Because as soon as awareness is brought to it, you know what to do. Or you know where to start asking questions. You start knowing where to look. Because at first it's I'm seeking, we're seeking where to even start. And then it's like, okay, well, at least, hey, now I have somewhere to start. I'm not so lost. I'm not so confused. At least I have some sort of vision of what needs to be done next or where at least to look. Because a lot of times it's, we look for so long and it's, am I even in the right place? But it's questioning ourselves. A lot of times, you go with your gut instinct and you stick with it. You persevere through that storm, the storm of time. You got to persevere through that. You can't let your own self fuck yourself. Your own mind. You're going to second guess yourself. It's when we second guess our first instincts is when we start messing ourselves up.
Fees that'll come over with pajamas on at the drop of a dime, the waste of all my time and hop along. Too preoccupied to ever get my Robert Johnson on. But I serenade Satan, sitting on a corner with a pair of shades, waiting there apparent age, adjacent to the barricades breaking. My demeanor's like a needle, we don't share the same patience. Nah, you can't reinvent truth, boo. You can't reinvent truth. You can't reinvent truth. I'd rather die the worst me than live to be the best, be the best. You can't reinvent truth, you can't reinvent truth.
Reinventing truths. Well, that's what man does. Any truth that can't be contained, any truth that can't be monetized, any truth that can't be influenced in certain ways, in certain narratives, in certain angles, any truth that can't be used in certain negative ways, well, it gets the full force against that to suppress that truth. Because, truths that stand up, blatantly obvious next to lies, it's a threat. It's a threat to the veils of deceit. Which is what? Everything. It's a threat to every system. There's faults in every system. And some of them are they're infested with faults. Where's the good in it? Where's the good in it? What good ever happened with having a bigger and bigger government? Just more and more hands for people to steal money from. You know what I mean? That's all it is. And they're all just stealing from each other. And who gets mad? They all work for the same people. That's the big misconception. They're two parties. What two parties? It's always been one party. And when one gets caught, they cast the blame and, it was them. Well, hey, you know what? So with all that money that was stolen, right? And then there was a vote, right? 211 to 218. What was it? I think it was 211 people thought that, Omar still deserved to have her position. She deserved to still have her voice be represented in that seat. She thought, 211 people believed that. 211 people, elected officials, believed that there was nothing wrong with what she did. That what she did was nothing. Are you fucking kidding me? That's 211 people that should not have their position anymore. That's 211 people that need to go bye-bye as well. 211 people. 200. Whoa, why don't you see anything wrong with the corruption? Why don't you see anything wrong with the lying? Why don't you see anything wrong with the money being stolen from the taxpayers? Why? Oh, because you're involved with it as well. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Makes a lot of sense now, don't it? Motherfuckers.
I think about the possibilities that never crossed oceans. Who steady thinking about the oceanic six? No demand for common sense, only hand given to ignorance and lames. Not the lames like the sick, just the tame people magazine. People popsicle stick fame. Lost in their own brain, tickled by their own skin. Let my son trickle to the plane. But they just know the
little steppers, big talkers. Little steppers, big talkers. Corruption is bad. We need to do something about it until it's found, until action can be taken. But then no one wants to take it. It's all fucking talk. All talk. Corruption's bad. Corruption's bad. But it's the ones screaming that it's so bad are the ones that are so fucking deep into it. You know, the problem is we opened the doors for it. We opened the doors for it. We welcomed it in. We welcomed it in with every single vote for more and more, you know, arms of the government. More and more. We opened the door. We welcomed it in. And we made it possible. And how do we do that? You know, we voted it in. We legalized it. We've legalized this fuckery. And we elect in officials that continue the fuckery. And then we catch them in the fuckery and we allow them to continue their fuckery. What the fuck is wrong with this world?
Make something great, but I'm too busy now to taste it. Ever since I was 15 years old, all I wanted to do was work with kids. When I was 19 years old, I made a decision that put that vision at risk. 4 months in jail, 3 nights in hell. Who posted bail? My parents cried. When you break the trust between yourself and someone you love, you either fail or swear you'll try.
See, it don't be a thing when you're living like me, in and out of outer space. When you can't see straight, just leave it up to me to put a dent in your hollow days. Spend one of those days for a couple of days, and I'll profit how I choose. But if they go home early and don't stay to play, then what shall I do?
Check this out. I'm the luckiest son of a bitch that ever lived. I spend life doing shit I love.
You know, luckiest you ever been, but doing shit I love. You know, social media, mind on my money, but that's first eye on the most high, right? But it's, you know, it's being in a place where what is our social media based upon? How does the algorithm work? It's what we invest into. It's what we invest our energy into, right? It's what we spend our time watching and engaging in. Because that's what it gives us more of. It gives us more of what we want, which is exactly what the universe does too, is it not? And it's like, you know, but how do we change it? How do we change it? How do we change the algorithm? Well, we start looking up different things. We hear something that piques our interest and we look it up and we start watching those videos fully. And then what happens? Then those types of videos, the change the transformations, those types of videos start playing. You know, we start getting those brought to us. Instead of starting to seek it, it gets brought to us. And then it gets to a point where it's just things that you set your attention to. You set your intention for certain information to find its way to you. You set that intention out and it comes to you in so many different ways and forms. But you have to be open to it. You know, you have to be open to it. You know, nephews learn. Nephews pay attention. Because Unc has a lot of wisdom. Unc has a lot of knowledge. Unc is fucked off a lot. And Unc can show you how to be good or be good at it. But it's the changing of the algorithm. But it starts with the conscious intentions, though. That's how you change it. It doesn't just happen. You know, it's like, you know, my algorithm is completely different than just about anyone's. But it's because the things that I spend my time, it's trained to us. It learns us. It learns what we enjoy, and it gives us what we want. And so is it, you know. Yeah, of course, I do, you know, spend time watching things that are just brainless, like scrolling, but it's all educational in some ways. Like, a lot of the stuff I watch, you know, just all sorts of stuff. I watch a lot of videos of people going around, just the old buildings, though they're all old world buildings, and it's just, you look at these magnificent buildings, and I spend a lot of my time doing that, and watching videos like that, right? It's all, like, educational in some sense. But that's what I choose to do. I choose to watch things like that because I don't know. I want knowledge. I want to absorb as much as I can. And that's where I find enjoyment. I mean, I used to find enjoyment in, like, watching sports and stuff, but I mean, it's something I can still enjoy, like, if I'm there doing it with other people, but I see through it. I know what it is, you know? People think that, they have playbooks, and more than just playbooks, they have the whole season. When they sign the contracts, they have their whole career lined out for them. It's the only facade is that you think that it's real, and I know it's not. I know that it's all paid for. I know that it's all acting. You know, it's real, but and that's the big problem to me is they get paid so much money. And how much money do our soldiers that actually put their life on the line, our firefighters, our policemen, how much money do they get? And risking their life all the time. How much money do they make? You know, we give we give all this money to these athletes, which are just, you know, the athletic, yeah, but they're actors. And those are the people that we give all this energy to. And it's a siphons all of our energy. Most common people can't even afford to go to these games. They're too fucking expensive. You know, the gas to get there, the food there, everything. It's too fucking expensive. It's a joke. It's a joke. You know what that's given though with that music. It was like, I don't know. Someone thought that they got some really good game. You know, it's like, oh, we got them dickmatized or pussy whipped. It's like they always come back for more. It's, you know, but yeah, it's a lot of times, you know, we can find enjoyment in toxicities. Toxicity can be fun until it's not. Until you don't want it. Until you don't find enjoyment in it anymore. Until you really see how toxic it really is. You know, it's like deep down we know it's toxic, but I don't know. Maybe it's still part of the lesson that we need to learn. Who knows why we still stay? And then we go from one toxic, you know, situation to another, to another, to another. You know, it's a habit. You know, but cutting our habits. Changing our patterns. Changing our patterns. You know, it's no longer just talking about it. It's don't talk about it, be about it. You know, and it's, you know, but it's also the energy of not enough of just talking about it. It's maybe I'm not even going to speak about it. I'm just going to fucking do it. And people can just watch me do it. And like, oh shit, like, I didn't know that they, like, you know, and then, you know, maybe it looks like you just decide to stop drinking. Then you run into people months later. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been? Oh, I haven't been out to bars. I stopped drinking. Because a lot of times, you know, where do we see a lot of these people? The places where we're out, you know, indulging in our lower self, having fun, right? What kind of fun? You know, at what cost too? You know, it's like when I quit drinking, it's like I gained so much of my life. You know, but it's also the realization of how much of my life I wasted. Energy harvesting. How much of my time and energy I just gave away. Fun in the moment, yeah, but you know, but you live and you learn. You know, I don't weigh myself back with the, you know, if I could go back, I could change everything. Oh, well, of course we would change a lot, but you know, but did you learn? Because as long as you learned, then it wasn't for nothing, right? As long as we learn.
Washing the car, don't you never close the baby from the boxes to cars with the toxins of car. A part of the deal when that shit that isn't home makes it harder to feel. Barking his wheels under the deck, molding it with paint while he huffing the rest. See the guns of regret, don't know how to aim, so they hit whatever's closest that will shoulder the blame. I don't know shit, but I know how to read. The writing on the wall that nobody needs. An alley in the room won't temper my teeth. And every shepherd with his shepherd know it's better to breathe. I don't know shit, but I know how to read. The writing on the wall
it's clear on all sides. We all fall their eyes. I try to lend an ear, but all I hear is false pride. So I've been on the outside looking in, and I've been thinking about the past and what could have been. I'm clear on all sides. We all fall their eyes. I try to lend an ear, but all I hear is false pride. So I've been at the shooting range killing time, and I've been cloud gazing looking for a silver line. Today was like the first day. Let there be light side of life. They divided night like Mr. Mojo rising to his height. See, it started with the bang, a solitary sunspot. A strange word echoed through the void like a gunshot. One drop of blood became a pomegranate seed, grew into a tree with forbidden fruit for me and Eve. The landlord took his keys and kicked us out the garden, so we moved to New York and got a 2-bedroom apartment. But life seems mundane, and I'm to blame, so I don't have the right to complain. I'm spin cycling, dark angels knock on our door, and I invite them in to bring to light the things I've suppressed and help me write again. I could plant a seed and tear it out the ground and kill it before it grows like Sheriff John Brown. Stare at a blank page for days, block days off, parade around my place lost in thought till it pays off. Until the pain stops, until the raindrops turn to pomegranate seeds. Point me in the right direction. Then
until it changes. It's the growth. It's the growth. Things dying, falling down. Things falling down dead around us. Things falling apart. But hidden helpers. But a lot of times, we'll observe things falling apart, in our life. But is it, sometimes things have to fall apart to come together. It's in the falling apart that but it can only fall apart if it's not a sturdy foundation. And it's a lot of times we fight so hard to repair these buildings that it's going to collapse. It's a collapsing building, and we're preventing the inevitable. And so instead of just backing off and letting it collapse and then rebuilding it from there, we spend so much time and energy and fight so hard to fight against the flow of change. But feminine energy, our manifestations, but it's springtime, manifestations, time to start over new. But it's turning out, but it's a lot of time, we're not wanting to close the chapters. Well, some of those chapters are really long. Maybe sometimes it seems like we're not just closing a chapter, we're closing a book. But just because you stop, just because you finished one book doesn't mean you can't start another one. It's or not even you can't. It's the way that you look at it. It's you're able to. You have the ability to start over fresh, and you have the gift of starting over anew. It's a gift. It's not a curse. Only if you perceive it as such. But it's the way that we perceive everything. But it's the not what's happening to me, it's what's happening for me. It's the tornado came and it ripped the fields up, but guess what? The soil has been fucked up for a while, and that tornado just dug down deep and it brought the soil up, and guess what? Now the new crops that we plant can actually grow.
Out of my head like God's child.
Seeking spiritual guidance. It's, sometimes when we're being guided, right? sometimes it's like music, you know, we can hear it. We know we're on the right path because we can still hear the same music, right? Other times the song changes and it's still, but I can still hear the music, so I'm still on the right path. Other times the music just stops. Has you wondering, am I on the right path? Did I miss my turn? What happened? Who turned the music off? Why does the music stop? Why did the music stop? You know, but it's like, but when we can't hear anymore, when we can't hear the music and we don't have the straight confirmations that the constant confirmations that we're on the right path, because some, you know, at first it's like we rely on them. We rely on it's a reassurance that we're not lost. It's the reassurance that my compass isn't, you know, miscalculated. It's the reassurance that we get. But other times it's a test. You know, the music will cut off to so you go inward. You have it's the opportunity that we're given to be able to use the gifts that we've already received. You know, it's our intuition, it's our discernment. It's, you know, when it seems like it's dimmed or quieted, it's because we're, you know, when it seems like when our guidance and our help has quieted, it's because we're meant to rely on ourselves. You know, it's a test for ourselves. You know, but it's like it's showing what we've learned. You know, but it's at each step. You know, it's new levels of consciousness, new integration. You know, it's new, but it's, you know, new levels, new devils. But who's that? It's different versions of ourselves. It's deeper layers of ourselves that, you know, that we didn't know existed or that we tried to hide really far or hide. It's just, it's ourselves. You know, it's more things of ourselves. It's you know, the biggest devil is ourselves. You know, the biggest battles that we fight are against ourselves, regardless if we realize that or not. And that's the biggest part. Is a lot of times we don't even realize, you know, when someone triggers us, it's because it's a us thing that we need to observe in ourselves. But that comes over time. But it all starts with bringing awareness to it. You know, conscious attention. Well, attention. Anytime now. How you guys doing? There we go.
I be dodging and ducking. You can label me however, out the box I was stuffing. Ain't the type of rapper bragging about the girls he be fucking. I be positive loving, shout out to all of my cousins. Been a tough year for the fam, and be hard in the days. Chris help me liberate these thoughts on the page. See me heating up, yo, I've been all in the blaze. Tuck and rolling up the breezy, let's get lost in the haze. Hey, hey, baby, feel like it's payday. And knowing the negative wavelength, they ain't on shit, so let's vacate. Don't worry about what they say, that ain't true. Just focus on the mission, these dreams will come true. Hit a tick-tock, this clock don't last forever. Leave an impression on the world that lasts and better. You see that sunrise go by, now the moon got a setup. Got me paranoid as fuck, like this must be a setup. I never trust life when it gets this good. Wish I could enjoy the moment like I know I should.
You know, it's a cover-up, but it's, you know, it's thinking that, you know, this is too, it's like blocking our blessings. This is too good. It can't be for me. But it's like, why not? You know, but it's worthiness. It's worthiness. You know, but it's funny too, but even when we know that we're worthy, it's like we still sometimes want it, we still fight it. A sense of unworthiness. Even when deep down we know that we're worthy, deep down we know that, you know, we've put the work in. You know, but that's a big That's a big thing to heal in our bloodlines, and that's in like every bloodline. You know, sense of worthiness. That's something that I'm pretty, everyone has to go through. Because everyone's at different levels of it, right? But where does that come from? You know, but to see yourself as worthy for something, you have to, you got to like the person that you see. If you don't like the person that you see, how could that person be worthy of it?
Looking for something that's new. I hope I can find what I can't define. I need some truth. Not even sure what I'm searching for. I just gotta move. Cause sometimes you gotta leave to arrive. Get stuck in one place and forget that you're alive. See that sunrise go by. Now the moon got his head up. Got me paranoid as fuck. This must be a setup. I never trust life when it gets this good. Wish I could enjoy the moment like I know I should. I'm waiting on the fall. I should focus on the rise. Trying to live for the day. Cause tomorrow is a lie. I never trust life when it gets this good. Wish I could enjoy the moment like I know I should. I'm waiting on the fall, I should focus on the rise. Trying to live for the day, cause tomorrow is a lie.
Can I smile when I see the pain on your face? As the time goes by, I try to find
You know, it's fumbling. You know, the cover up. You know what that's given? You know, it's like the last play of the game, and there's no more time on the clock, and they have to score on this one. And so they're literally just throwing it backwards and laterals, and, you know, they're passing it all around, doing everything to keep it alive. Doing everything to keep it alive. You know, but the funny thing about character is your character is your character. It's part of your essence, you know, and so all you have to do is continue to be you. And it's a lot easier to be you than for other people to try to portray you as something that you're not. You know, trying to portray you for something that you're not. You know, your character, your connection with the Most High. Yeah, it's the energy, it's how could you be worthy? How could you be worthy enough, you know, but that's the whole thing though. That's the whole misconception, you know, that's what people's eyes are going to be awoken to. Is, you know, people look at me in the way that I, you know, my tattoos and the way that I speak and this and that, and how could I be? Well, that's because I know my worth and I'm deemed worthy. I found myself worthy and I'm deemed worthy by the Most High. That's how. You know, those are so quick to judge. It's out of jealousy though. It's out of a place of jealousy. You know, out of a place of, sadly, not knowing yourself. Because if you knew yourself, you would know the spark of the divine that resides in me, that resides in everyone. Which is the same thing as, you know, all these groups of people that, you know, want to say that think that put themselves on any pedestal above anyone else. You know, anyone that puts themselves above any pedestal above anyone else, it's a false teaching. We're all the same. Anything else is a false teaching. We're all of the same worthiness. The only difference is we don't perceive ourselves on the same way. That's the problem, and it's a us problem. You know, we're so quick to cast the blame. We're so quick to judge others. We're so quick to deny other people's anointing, to deny other people. We're so quick. A lot of times it's just out of jealousy.
Perhaps you change me. Look at this lady. Are you listening? Can't you hear me calling? I need to know.
Photographic memory, Rooney Boogie Monster. I won't forget the name, no whimpering of a true imposter. They wanna cry about it. Have you come running with a chandelier to put up on their neck? Goodwill Hunting. I heard that way before the critics chimed in at a frequency only.
You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. Goodwill Hunting. Goodwill Hunting. You know, Goodwill Hunting. Was that the one where he goes into the classroom and he sees the problem on the board that can't be solved, and he goes in there and he just solves it, and he was a janitor, right? The knowledge. You know, how could you be worthy? You know, all these educated people, all these people with their majors and doctrines, and these really educated people. And how could this fucking janitor come in here and figure out these equations that we couldn't? How could? Your worthiness. Who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are? Is the better question.
down, I still get up and move around. Every day is your first day, let's break the time. 'Cause when I get up and feel the ground. Inner beast type visions, prisons have walls, the white walls on my Lincoln got miles. Envision at night falls, the day is going wild. The sky it falls down like the eyes of a tired child. So where do we go then, and what are we supposed to do? Clearly your home kin, those that hold you. In the old days, the things that would fold you will be attacked, you be avenged like some old fool. See, we were born free of a burden, it's all the more we learn it. Molded by the whole wide world, the code turning. And die with broken shoulders, weight of a life lived. Some will live longer, because some will stay kids. We have our own religion, don't all keep the faith. That's why I got visions and need to meditate. They done so said that we got the highest stakes. Sometimes coming in is the greatest escape. It breaks me down, I still get up and move around.
You know, offended. You know, how can you still get up? You know, how can you boss up in every situation? How can you, take all the rocks that are thrown at you, and how can you take those and use that to build something with it? How the fuck do you do it? And it's alchemy. It's not allowing it to. It's the realization that, things can only affect you to the extent that you allow it to. When you observe everything as a lesson, when you observe everything as a teacher, each one teach one. One hand washes the other, both hands wash the face. We're supposed to be the teacher and the student. We share with others what we've already learned, but we never stop learning.
Gonna break it off, the rules they don't apply the same to all of us. The blues we sing cause we supposed to shake it off. The news don't always sound the same to all of us. These tools won't always work, I'm gonna break it off. We on the same ship, got the same sails. Praying that we don't tip, clinging to the rails. Dealing with the same shit, same junk mail. Sometimes you think you're running, but you an old snail. But that's just relativity, fast with negativity. Blasting for discretions, all connectivity. Last one at the table don't eat, how we live and see. First one at the ladder, pulls it up, now you're killing me, damn.
Last one at the table doesn't eat. Not everyone's the same. What's being brought to my mind is, there was times when, I was sleeping in my truck, and I was, I didn't have any money, didn't have any food, and I go down to the food banks, right? And there's long lines. But I kept finding myself it's the understanding that people get there early because it's the best pickings, right? You get the fresh pickings, right? But it's, sometimes I would prioritize my studying over it. I would look at the time and it's like, I could go there early right now and I could get first picks of everything. But it's like, I'll let other people have the first pick. I know there's going to be something there regardless for me, but it makes it even harder because I'm vegetarian, and so even less options for me, so I had even more reasons why I would want to go earlier, but it's the priority level that I put it. I don't even put, the priority level that I would even put eating it. Sometimes, days would go by without even eating, even before I was homeless. And it's not like it's the priority level that I put it at. I would spend so much time in my own world, studying and stuff that it's not where I focused on. Plus I always intermediate fasted, but then I had fasting experience too from my drug binges, right? Plenty of time not eating. So I knew, it's quite obvious not going to die from not eating, right? But it's our mind. We think that we need to eat, and, we think that we need the nutrients, but we don't even consume any real nutrients out of it. Any little bit of nutrients that's in the food, we cook it off normally. And it's just, what's funny too is, the whole pyramid just got reversed, right? And I really don't, I don't like being in I told you so moments. But it's a blessing and a curse of being ahead of the time, because I'm already ahead of the curve, and I try to point people in the right direction, and I can't force anyone to do anything. That takes first off, it's a pointless mission, but I found the truth. I know the truth, but it's good luck trying to tell people that. Good luck trying to show people that. but it's the reversal of the pyramid, but it's, what's funny is South Park did a whole skit on that, as a mockery, as a joke, and then it came to be, right? But there's so much of it, though. There's so much of it. But it's all spiritual warfare. That's the part they're not going to talk about yet, openly. I get some shit that has to be talked about behind closed doors. When this administration that's now aware of what goes on, and not trying to cover it up, they're actually trying to make us healthier again. That's actually trying to remove the toxins and poisons in our food. So I'm well aware. And so where other people criticize and cast judgment and mockeries and laugh, it's like, look at the fools. Feel sad for them. For believing so much in the lies, for being so embedded in it, and for being such a, the way I observe it is you're not a free thinker. I don't observe many people as free thinkers. It's all regurgitated opinions. It's none of it are their own. It's whatever podcast, whatever news channel, whatever they listen to, they just regurgitate the same opinion. They never take any time to do any research. They never take any time to put any thought into it. They never take any time into forming their own opinions. They just regurgitate and shit out someone else's opinion, regardless of if it's false or not. They wouldn't even know if it's false or not. Because, they just, it's people don't take the time to question. They don't take the time to question who their sources are. They don't take the time to question what people's motives are. They just don't take the time to question anything. And I'm saying, I'll tell you, like, what do I say all the time? Question everything. Question everyone. And it's the one saying, don't question me, that we should question the most.
Knowing it wasn't no DB, you got up in and you waddled. That shit might happen tomorrow, whether you a ball player, a stage actor, or international model. I don't care, now this shit no one. I'll say that shit to Hulk Hogan, Obama down to Joe Rogan, hit in the studio that made Frozen. My brain's veritable tape speed, sub Jenkins or Hayseed. Try waving your resume, all of a sudden I can't read, yeah.
Get your name, fake it, make you evil. And it's a shame, cause we done lost so many people. It gets ingrained, we start behaving like a sheep do. This song is a prayer and you should aim it where you need to. When you say it, they believe you. This is a prayer and you should aim it where you need to. Get out my mouth, get out my mouth, get out my food, get out my mouth, I'm not your hurt, get out my mouth. What the fuck is my problem? It's a prayer for the American religion. Get out my room, get out my job, get out my nurse, get out my doctor, get out my priest, get out my mama. What the fuck is my problem? It's a prayer for the American religion.
Did the stuff come? Yeah, come in. You ever see a preamplifier like this? Got a magnetic phone, no tape head, distortion 2%, harmonic unmeasurable. I can't afford it. How about this new Faldeck speaker? You fiend, you know I'm still paying on the indoor boosters and the stereo adapters. You dirty rat. You got me started on this stuff. Take it easy, Charlie. You came to me, don't forget if you can't handle it. Charlie, stay away from those knobs. Charlie, don't touch that big knob. Some sellers can get a guy like Charlie hooked pretty easy. I gotta check this man before he gets too goddamn long. I have a very perplexing hum coming from my DAC on 3,000 watt power amplifier.
Stay clean, Chuck. Pipe dreams keep a fiend stuck, obsessing over every new toy.
It's pipe dreams if they think that they're going to keep you stuck. Pipe dreams keep you stuck with emotional manipulation, keep you stuck with the Jezebel spirit. Pipe dreams. Oh, that's interesting too. It's, you know, but it's the propaganda machine. It's the lies, the drama queens. It's the lies. They're getting stuck in the lies. They're frozen in the lies. Reaching out for help. You know, it's getting caught up and then like getting mad. It's like, you know, I've offended. They're offended that they're caught. Offended that they're caught. You know what that's given? It's trying to tap into your Akashic records. Seeking spiritual guidance. It's like they went into your Akashic records to find something. It's some sort of way to attack you emotionally, some sort of way to try to manipulate you. It's whatever knowledge that they gained in your Akashic record to try to manipulate you. You know, but the funny thing about that is, you know, it's your Akashic record. It's all your timelines, right? And with every thought has the potential to shift you in a different timeline. And so if you shift your thoughts so much, you'll completely shift out of the timeline. And so whatever information, whatever plot, whatever plan, you know, and so weapons will be formed, but they will not prosper. And so as long as you're staying in alignment and you catch those constant, you know, the constant updates, the constant downloads, you know, right? And you continually to follow your intuition, continually to follow wherever you feel led to do, right? But that's how you avoid things without even knowing it. That's how you always stay 10 steps ahead. Now, but a lot of times you're not even going to realize. Sometimes you won't even know that you missed it because you're so much on course. It completely misses you. Other times it's, you know, you're just getting the hang of it and it came really fucking close. It came close, but it didn't hit you. Or it didn't hit you to the full effect, right? Sometimes it gets close just so you can, whoa, that was a close one. That was a close one. You know what I mean? You have to have that moment to be like, oh shit. You know, you gotta pay more attention. You're like, come on. You know, it's just not a game. You know what I'm being reminded of? The shit's not a game. There was a point when I was in I think it was the Dover, Delaware area. It was a pretty bad area, right? And I had a feeling I shouldn't stay where I was. And I had a smashed out window on my truck. And it was the middle of the night. And I had a feeling I shouldn't stay where I was in this parking lot. But I didn't know the area. I didn't know where else to go. I had no money and no gas. I didn't know where to go. And I had intuition to move and stay out of there and not stay where I did. But I didn't. I went against my intuition because I didn't understand, right? And what happened? I woke up in the middle of the night to some dude, just as he was walking up to my car. And, you know, I made him question the situation enough where he wasn't sure if I was alone or what I had in there with me to protect myself. He wasn't sure. And so he backed off. But he definitely wanted to he was trying to get too comfortable, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not trying to get friendly and comfortable, have no friendly conversation. You can see your way the fuck away from my vehicle. You know what I mean? But then I had that overwhelming, I wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be there. You know, and coincidence that I just got woken up out of a dead sleep, right before. I don't believe in coincidences, you know. But it's when we don't listen to our intuition. We don't know how close we could be to certain things. We don't know. That's why we listen.
Write a little jingle for the 6th grade mixtape. Turn it into something beautiful and hope it gets played enough for me to get paid. Or isn't this just great? Funeral, money running newborn, babies running laps from my inner maps. Tracks on a lunar pole, daily journey circuits ambush. Universe crazy, I refuse to fret. Let new fuse making come in due time. Make a subtle contribution, strategic now. So puzzle my solution. I thought they'd rush in when I was truly being me. And wrong, a shooting star covered in gold, this could be wrong. So I had to
Now she's leaving with the kids, never gonna forgive ya. It is what it is. Moved out and she was gone. The dear John better. Red Aaron, you was wrong. Now you can be alone. I can find better. But without you, our house is not a home. How Dion sing that song? She said middle finger. Staring at the goggles in my dome, fearing that I don't got no self-control, and I'm airing out the bottom of my soul. Though it's a rabbit hole, caring for you a lot is not impossible. My skin's a battle zone, soul is a catacomb. Alcohol, tobacco, leave that alone. Too late to be the nice guy, nice try. Bye-bye, it took some time and now she's gone forever.
I could be something going
You know, too late to be the nice guy. Too late to be the nice guy. Too late to be the nice guy. Mind on your money, you know. But that's first eye on the most high. It's too focused on our path, too focused on our mission, too focused on ourselves to get thrown off, too focused to get stuck back into old cycles, too focused, too aligned. You know, but it's a full pulling back of our energy, of all of our energy. But it's not only just calling. It's not just, you know, calling energy back. It's abstaining from going places that's gonna drain it. You know, it's consciously aware of our energy. You know, that's through, you know, putting the puzzle pieces together and seeing where our money's being siphoned. You know, what accounts, you know, what places, what people, what things are siphoning our energy, and you know, reevaluation of the accounts, of the contracts. It's, oh shit, you know, this contract was supposed to be over a while ago. We're gonna close that account. We're gonna close that one. We're gonna close that one. This one, yeah, we're gonna renew this one. You know, but it's we gotta take account of our energy. You know, but it's our. You know, but our sexual energy is, you know, that's the strongest. That's the most potent. It's, you know, we retain that and we use that for our manifestations. That's how you really pull in your manifestations faster.
It's to the tango, we lost kin. He lost her, it robbed them of some potential and harmony. Now every thought means we both will be living better than modestly. My daughter's honest with me, but she'll tell her maybe white lie. To tell the truth, yo, I ain't good at saying bye-bye. I might find another lover, but you'll always be my baby mother. Yeah, I might find another lover, but I'll never treat her like the other. No other lover undercover, no side chick. So I ain't even got a hide shit. Flip with my phone, optics, imagine that, no violation. And why am I looking at porn? I don't know, vivid imagination.
But no side chicks, right? But it's the side chicks, the lustful desires, the things that our lower self used to find enjoyment in. You know, the things that our spirit team guided us to get rid of, the things that our spirit team brought our awareness to that needed change. It's the things that we were lying to ourselves about. You know, it's people will be jealous of how authentic we can be. You know, about how well we know ourselves. You know, but you know what that is too. No, it's the big spirit energy that comes with that. You know how knowing yourself comes with that big dick energy. You know, but it's that big spirit energy that only comes from knowing yourself. Truly knowing yourself. You know, but it's what they can't see what makes us so special. But it's because you can't see what makes you so special. That's what's holding you back. There's nothing more special about me than there is of you. It's the only difference is I can see it. And you can't. That's why you know the jealousy kicks in. It's because we're not able to see ourselves, you know. And why? Because it's our choices, our actions, our decisions. It's our layers, you know. It's the layers, you know. But it's the layers that we put over ourselves, the layers that society, but like other people have put over us. You know, we don't cast the blame. We stop shift. We stop putting the blame on people for putting those layers onto us before we even aware of them. You know, the religions and family, you know, all the chains and bonds that they put on us. You know, we don't fixate on who put it onto us and this and that and who enforced the bonds. We don't fixate on that. The only thing we fixate on is breaking the bonds, breaking the chains. The only thing we focus on is ourselves, freeing ourselves. Because the only way we can help others to free themselves, because we can't free them either. Well, just as no one can come free us, no one can come save us, we have to save and free ourselves. But it's in the process of saving ourselves, we find ourselves. And it's in the finding ourselves, we find the way to show others how to do it themselves as well. You know, it's don't talk about it, be about it, and show people from example.
Now what's up? Look, Judge Book, bar cover that dose. Got me feeling resilient, comatose, but with a glow. Oh, smug, super, I feel love. Duper, come, unplugged, snot, rap, thug. Portable crystal ring with an angel and a demon hug. That sounds soft though. Not when you zone, not when you riding a Tron bike to and fro. You gotta make it go. Better than Belinda, etc. Me and Reba and ZB, the LED strobing euphoria sativa. The sweeter being, but followed is us. So trust, we never run out of that gold dust. We illustrious. I ain't saying the drug that we peak can leave you somber. It's the age of Aquarius and it's months and I'm awesome.
I'm out in the moonlight now, dancing, laughing, it's my holiday. We walk through the forest painted green, with happy silver and gorgeous woman sing. I wanna be every color that I see.
You know what I was getting? You know, forming new thought patterns. You know, but it's, you know what I was getting? I've been seeing a lot of videos recently of just ancient videos and how they used to get water into regions, which if they hadn't engineered these canal systems and certain like waterways that, you know, just were gravity fed and just that still work to this day. But without those, they wouldn't have survived. But it's the new thought patterns. It's we get the new we get rid of the false programming, right? And we start creating new thought patterns. But we have to get water to it, you know. But that's it's the meditation, it's the constant alignment, it's open-mindedness though. It's you know, we can plant the seeds, right? We plant the seeds and we can get the water system to it. But not every seed that we plant is going to grow, right? But that's okay. But we stay planting seeds, you know, whatever we're led to do. You know, we feel led to dip our toes in over here, we dip our toes in over there. We feel led to dip our toes in over there, we do it. We just do what we're led to do. And next thing we know, we got seeds planted in that crop and that crop and that crop and that crop. You know, this may die, this might get overwatered, that one, who knows, you know, who knows. But it's, we got so much going on. Sometimes it can get confusing, you know, where you're supposed to put your focus into. Sometimes, you know, we start on one project and then we feel being pulled away from it. And so we drag feet from starting the new one because we were already invested into this one and that's where we thought that we were going. But we should always go at it as if this is what we're as if like this is it, like we're going to go all in on this one, right? But we give it our all, and but at the same time, when we get that guided direction to go elsewhere, we don't fight that, you know. We don't. But don't you see all the work? Don't you see all the materials I have? Don't you see it? It's like, yes, but don't you see, like, this project's already set up and ready to go. This one's already, you know, way farther in the process, and this one's bigger and this one's grander. You know, are you going to fixate on all the effort you already did? But this next one, it's less effort and it's greater. But all you have to do is release the old and accept the new. But it's a curtain behind that. You're not going to see what's right there. You know, it's a gamble, but it's the gamble we take on ourselves. The calculated risk that we learn to take on ourselves.
Clatter, never chatter, make it matter, build it better, make it better, take the cake and save it, it's collateral, so never just sabbaticals, the attitude, that's the move for every puddle that I splash into.
Evermore Shakespeare, clever score from Devon. Painting over my bombs, another mole in my lawn. Slow little Ponzi. We was underground and independent like a homeboy song that's so strong. It's an industry of giants, we the little guys. No one ever said we wasn't just a little fly. Not a cloud in the sky, can't see the top of the stratosphere. That's why we love the clouds for making some shit clear. I got a couple whips, they both leak oil. I got a couple chips, seeds in the soil. Peace in our time, yeah. That's the mantra I heard. Spread a little love, man, it ain't so absurd.
They say the sky's falling, so you build a wall. You have a little shelter when it hits a song. But I don't think that sky is falling. I don't think that sky is falling. The streets are on fire, so you lock the door. But what do you think that rain is for? Well, I don't think that sky is falling. But if it is, then let it fall.
You know, I don't think the sky is falling, but if it is, let it fall. You know, but it's the energy of, you know, everything's falling apart around me. But I don't think that it's falling apart so it can destroy me. I think that it's falling apart so that I can build something greater in its place. You know, but that's the space that we hold. The space that we hold so we hold the space for our new manifestations, right? But, you know, if we have all this space occupied with the previous thing, you know, we got to declutter. We got to clean it up. We got to get rid of it. We got to make the space inside of us for the manifestations to flourish. Because, you know, as within, so without. We have to create the space inward for it first. You know, but it's also, but what's the space? You know, how do you do that? It's the thought. It's the thinking about it. It's the energy that we put into it. It's the, you know, the 7 P's of success. Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Maybe you don't have the money for the material, but you can plan out all the material that you need. You can map it out in your mind. But even more than that, though, it's mapping it out on paper. It's putting it down into writing. You know, there's power into all of it. But it's where our energy goes, where our attention goes. Those are the things we need to, you know, be conscious of. You know, what are we investing our time into? Are we investing our time into things that we should have ended a while ago? And why am I still putting energy into this? Why am I still giving it any of my attention? Why? You know, the secret society. Why haven't you put an end to it already? Why are you still going? Why are you so persistent? Why are you so determined? Why not? They're asking the wrong questions. That's why. They're asking all the wrong questions, and you're asking all the right ones. Huge fucking difference.
Beneath the sleep-like veil, I read the stomach lining of the beast like braille, and walk the street feeling like my feet might fail.
That's how I learn. You can do it too.
I'm learning not to hold my tongue, but how to hold a tune with a drop of golden sun leaking from an open wound. Below the full moon, reposing in the womb, sticking acupuncture pins in your thick skull balloon. I make my way through the forest to chart progress, following the queen, running with sharp objects. Stop, catch your breath, set the hatchet down, dig a hole and bury it. God bless the poet proletariat, the lowly. Lost Lord be get down on both knees, choking back tears while the world moves at full speed. You give them time, they'll pilfer the village blind. What tell is they're building shrines to realists and philistines, and hide shame with pride. I'm guilty of the same sin, born with the same snake attached at the brain stem. Strange, beautiful things losing their wings.
Born with the same snake attached at the brain stem. You know, it's Kundalini rising, right? You know, it's the lie. It's the lie that we all can't put the same work in on ourselves. You know, it's the lies that we tell ourselves that we can't do the same work on ourselves. You know, but it's the lies that we tell ourselves. It's the way that we set ourselves up. It's the change of the mindset. It's the change of the mindset. It's the way that we lie to ourselves and we say that things are happening to us. You know, the things that this person did to me, the thing that that person did to me, that this situation, that this, how it emotionally wrecked me or whatever. We stopped doing that. It's this situation taught me this. This person thankfully taught me that. This person taught me this. You know, but it's giving thanks. It's giving thanks for the tough lessons. It's giving thanks, you know, but that's how you release people with love. You know what I mean? You find the lesson that they taught you, and here's the lesson I learned from this motherfucker. I don't want to learn this again, but thank you. Now, may peace be with you on your ways. And so it be. And then sever ties. You know, they come knock on the door, don't have to answer it. You know, send you a text, you don't have to respond. It's the choices that we make. The choices that we make. We said we're done. Oh yeah, you said it, but do you mean it? Did you mean it? There's always more opportunities to prove that you meant it. And just because, you know, we didn't fail, sometimes we just don't pass the test this time. But guess what? There's more. There's another opportunity. We earned ourselves another chance to prove ourselves because we didn't do it this time. You know? And so do we look at it as like we failed? Or no, or we fixate on, I get another chance. That wasn't the final one. I get another chance. This next one's going to be it. That's the mindset. That's for somebody. And I'm going to wrap that transmission up right there. But thanks for tapping in. Thanks for your likes, your shares, your comments. Thank you for the exchange of energy. And until next transmission.